Hi everybody, today is day 100 and the challenge today for the project today is fairies, nymphs, gnomes, and I've even thrown in a mermaid as well, even though that wasn't part of the thing. So I've got a couple of little baggies, and thrown in some bits from the graphics fairy. First thing I did was, after yesterday's little bee snippet, I used one of these little glassine bags. I put all the little tiny hexagons in that came off the die cut from yesterday. This was how it was, the die cut. And I've sealed them with a little bee sealer, a little stamp. It's a washi roll of stamps. Here they are, they've got all different animals. Anyway, I did that because I wasn't quite sure what else to do, and you know, these can be used, so I probably will use them in a mixed media piece next week maybe. So I've got a few little ideas. I've got this one little tiny, I don't know if you can see it, if it's focusing, maybe it's not. No, it's not focusing. Oh, I don't think it focused. Tiny little glassine bag and a little note which has got a little gnome on it. So this bag, it's so cute. Look at it, it's tiny. It's just a little thing like that. So I thought I would start with just a couple of easy little things. Basically, just making ephemera for a journal. Maybe down the track I will make a fairy journal. That might be fun. How is everybody today? We got down to about 4 degrees or something last night. That's pretty cold. Just getting paper. Yep, it was cold with my cold. The top is that way. I think that something like this is so cute. You could put it in and use it for any sort of thing. I wish I could just send that as a letter, because how cute is that? Just a little cute letter in the post. Life, all right, well, let's just put a little stamp in there. While we're at it, let's see, do I get enough? Life. Maybe some numbers. I'm just picking some that are already there. I don't know what that means. It's just something. That's a gnome. Little gnome card. Now we've got another little gnome card. This has got 3 little gnomes talking to a squirrel, with some of these famous for being fairy toadstools. Quite poisonous actually, or well, depends how much you have I suppose, but I don't think you'd want to have much of them at all. So the gnomes today are getting the glassine bags. I think that it's needs a little bit more around it, this one. It's quite overcast here today, and of course, as usual, the story on everybody's lips is, are you wearing a mask? Who isn't wearing a mask? When are they going to get fined if they don't wear a mask, etc. It's getting to be a bit droney, to be honest. Alright, the gnomes remind me a bit of leprechauns, so when I saw this bit of page, I thought maybe it would be a good one to use. Yes, right, we've got this, I grabbed a couple of bits and pieces. I think I'll save the flowers. That's not quite right. Nope. Nope. What else have I got? A bit of this. Oh, that might go underneath. All right. All right. I'm going to put this one underneath first. Fabric Fix. To have too much to talk about when you sort of aren't going out anywhere. What do? I do a little bit of cooking. Some friends have started to Skype or Zoom chat, friends and family. That way you see other people, especially that's what we did on my birthday. I feel like a little bit, well, I did get out and do some gardening yesterday, but I do feel a little bit like this has gone on for me for such a long time since, you know, August, September, since I had surgery, that I'm really kind of a bit, I think I've fallen into a bit of a daze, you know, falling into some sort of weird shut off from the world kind of days. And the way when my flatmate went back to work over a week ago, at least we started to be able to tell what day it was. But she's actually now decided to be home 3 days a week, so maybe we'll lose the plot again with what day we're up to and where we're at. Oh, I printed this out a second time because my printer did that silly thing where it gets all the lines and I had to recalibrate it. So waste not, want not, I used the other side and printed out what I wanted. Oops, don't want to stick it down upside down. Okay, so gnomes. Gnomes. I just, where's these little, putting the little bee things because they remind me of nature, and all of these things are about nature. So I ordered something off eBay, I think it was, and please forgive me whoever it was that did it, but someone sent in these little bags like as a thank you as part of the order that I'd made, and I was looking at them thinking, well, I think I'll do the fairy component. So off the graphics fairy I've got like little children, baby fairies. But then I realised that I didn't quite like this side, so I thought I liked this. Now this is where I really thought I could add in a bit of these bits of material. There's 3 sets of leaves, so I've got 3 little fairy children. I think I'd like a little something. No, not too busy though. I've just got to try and get something that, because there's already pattern on here. I almost feel like I need something light or white, like a clear, let's have a look at this marble. What's the marble look like? No, that's not right. Well, it Italians it up a little bit, but it doesn't make sense to me. I'm actually feeling like a really sheer bit of material is what I need. Still got some of this stuff. Let's have a look at the blue of it. Oh, that's not bad, and this will fray. Alright, let's look at that. Have to excuse me if my nose is a bit runny. I'm still getting over this, whatever this is. Right. Material, little fairy. I might poke that out a bit more. Bit of a leaf. I'm just wondering about one of these flowers. I'm going to cut one off, whether I use it or not. I'm going to cut one off, so I've got one as a sort of a tester. These bits. Don't want to cover up that too much. Right. Don't know if I need those green bits, but that, I like that covering that, and I like that sticking out a little bit. I think I still need something else, maybe to pull in with the gnomes. I will also put a bit of that. Let's have a look how that looks. Okay, happy with that. I'm wondering if I might sew around these. Okay, I might very well do that before I stick it down. So I'll need a dab of glue along there to hold that down. And double glue along here to hold that down. Okay, that's going to go like that, and that's going to go there. And then I think something else needs to go here, which might just be a little word. I might just keep with my life word, why not? And find something to put it on. So I've still got a bit of this very, very fine cotton or cheesecloth, depending on who's describing it. Still got my little life sticker there, little word. Fairies are life. Okay, bit of glue. I will get my other 3 ready as well, my other 2 ready, and then I'll sew them all in one go. And I'll just stick these on. So they're ready for sewing. That's one. Actually, let's keep it next to me. I'll probably do similar. I like to kind of keep things uniform, especially if it's all in one journal. Heater on a bit, my hair's still wet from the shower. That's a bit loud. Right, let's see if we want 2 more of these. This is a cute little fairy with the little birds. A little bit more of this. Longer and thinner. Similar, some of this. maybe a little pink flower on this one. There we go. Okay, so I think this one might be going up here. Okay. Top of that. Fabric fix. Now this one will of course sit down, once it's glued onto the backing it will sit down because we'll put glue behind here to get that down after I've just sewn around the edges. Now where is this going? That is creating a bit of a shadow on the picture. Let's see. Not liking that sticking out there so much today. Okay, and little girl with butterfly. Now, what would she like? One of these. Put the stamp on it. All right, does she want a pink flower? Maybe white. I The white flowers are quite big. That's up there. It's going to cover up a bit of the butterfly, which we don't want. Right. Oh, I like this the way that is. Alright, I'm finding that a bit too big. Well, I've got a little bit of this snippet roll that I made a while ago and stamped, so perhaps a bit of that will go there. Oh, there. No, those feel a bit weird without the flower heads on, don't they? Alright, let's see. What is it that I'm liking or not liking? I think that could come up a bit higher on that background. That can go in a bit. And then it can be placed wherever it needs to be placed on the bag. Alright. Okay, you can always edit after you've done a bit of gluing and sewing. Just realising I didn't distress the edge of the little card. Let's see if I can manage to still get a bit in there. There we go. Alright, so we are putting this on that. This one along here. Now that's going to buckle up. Still feel it needs something like a little flower. Don't have any. Okay, just one little tiny bit on the corner there. It's so cute. These little flowers, they're very cute. I didn't want to cover up too much of the butterfly, of course. Alright, let's put it on the bag where it might be going. Working it out. Okay, I'm going to go and sew all these and I will be back. Okay, so I've sewn around the edges and now we're going to stick them onto their little bags. Definitely want these out over the edge a little bit because this could be stuck into a journal on the edge of a page like this, so as this pokes out like a bit of a tag. Okay. Glue on my fingers. I'm using Fabric Fix for a quick grab, and I think I'd like a bit of hand towel to just get those extra threads that get caught in the glue. A bit of extra on here, still a bit more on there. Second one. There. I just love them. How cute are they? And the third one. They're so adorable. So imagine you've got, just move this. Imagine you've got a couple of ways you could use these. You could stick them down and not worry that there actually is a clear window at the back. You could put them into a tuck spot, and when someone brings it out, they can see a card inside here on the back, or just use it as a gift, trading gift, anything. It's quite so adorable, very adorable. All right, so we've got little bees, honey things. We've got our little gnome. We've got our other little gnome. These are little glassine bags. And I also have two beautiful so Nymphs was also on the word, and the word, oh my goodness, Nymphs, and I added a mermaid because I thought she looked nymph-like. These are definitely like water nymphs or sea nymphs or something, and I really loved this beautiful grey purpley tail of the mermaid. So I've got these two. They've got plain backs, but I just thought they'd be really nice with, let's see if this is big enough, bit of extra thicker card on the back for writing. That's not big enough, okay. So they could be, if they're really thick, they could be, you know, you lean on them to journal cards that you lean on to write on. Or, let's have a look. That might be nice with that colour. Let's do one at a time. Let's find that. That's a real sea baby blue, isn't it? Kind of like that. Alright, that one, in fact, I like, yeah, let's use that for both of them. Bring a bit of the ocean in. So I'm just going to cut this in half. And I think if these are going to all go in a similar journal, this is obviously the bit of lace that I've used that keeps them uniform with each other. Right, that's going to go behind there. For starters, I'm going to glue it now so as it's glued on. So it's going along this edge. So doing the fairies and the gnomes and the elves, and I realise I'm not having a lot to say today because I'm a bit afraid if I talk too much or breathe too much I'll have a coughing fit. Or sneeze or something like that, but it just reminds me, I remembered that there was this amazing moment I had when I thought to myself, when I was on my way over to England, the very first time in, I think it was in 2000, I thought to myself, don't laugh, but I did, I thought to myself, I wonder if fairies are real. And being as I'm going to Ireland, that'd be the one place, if I was ever going to see one, that I would see one. So I got on the plane to go to Ireland from England, and lo and behold, right in front of me sat a boy who had very short curly hair, who was very, very pixie-ish in his stature, and I swear he almost had pointy ears, and he didn't. They weren't like Dr. Spock ears, but they were pretty pointy, and I just thought, oh my goodness, your wish came true. There's a little fairy guy. Fairy elf guy. You've seen one. Of course he was probably just a normal human being. But you know, I do watch a lot of science fiction, so probably got carried away with my imagination there for that moment. You know, I just like this card just like this, and somehow something's a bit wonky. Now, I think it might be the card. I don't think I I didn't when I was cutting the card out, I didn't really I didn't size it up properly, didn't make sure it was straight. A bit off this one. Now I really like this the way it is, so I just think it's a beautiful card and it's a beautiful picture. I imagine that this is writing area, so I'm just going to stick this on here and it'll be a writing journaling card. What a cutie. Just use the art glitter glue because it's all paper, except for this bit of material. Anyway, so that trip to Ireland was quite amazing. I got off I went backwards and forwards. I went there twice, I think. The first time I went, I stayed in a backpackers that I swear in Dublin was owned by the Irish Mafia or something. It was quite interesting. Met some people, had a bit of fun times trying out the stout and etc. And I think I might have even told this story before. One day I went on the bus to a place just outside Dublin that was, I think it might have been like where Three Rivers met, like it was a meeting place or something. And I just got off the bus and I walked around there and it was just gorgeous, really beautiful, lovely. I mean, I went in summer, but it was raining, so good old English and Irish summers. I am quickly going to get my cornerer punch. Yeah, it was just absolutely gorgeous to walk around down, you know, it was just beautiful. Don't know if that was going to work with the lace there. And really just absolutely fabulous to be able to sit in an Irish pub having a chocolate stout, of all things, and listening to the band in the corner of the room playing on their Irish fiddles. Oh, it's just gorgeous. Oh, I'd love to go back there again. I'd love to do any sort of travel at the moment, really. One day we'll be free again. Or maybe not, who knows. Alright, we've got one mermaid. Now we've got the nymphs. I'm going to put them on the same bit of card, or am I? This time I will make sure they're straighter. What else happened there? Oh, nothing really. I just walked around. I think it was the first time I'd been, that was my first holiday since I'd had kids overseas. Like, that was the first, you know, they were, the girl's dad was a musician, so he was going to be going over to London, and so I went ahead of him to have a bit of time out, because I was a bit narky that he was going and I wasn't, because I was the one that was born there. But however, we worked it, and I just went there a bit ahead of him, had a bit of time there, looked around, met all the relatives, had some time with the relatives, and met him in London for a couple of days, and then we went to Copenhagen for a couple of days. And aside from that, then he went on and did the tour of the playing music that he was doing. And I came home to the kids. They were only in primary school at the time. I don't know, I probably shouldn't have left them at that age. But I just, I'm very sensitive, and I got really overwhelmed with screaming babies. I just needed a break. It's better to have a break than to get more depressed, isn't it? Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, it was good to have a break. And it was good to see, to go to Ireland. What I loved, aside from music, having studied music myself, I loved going into the museum and seeing the Viking stuff, because, you know, in Australia, you know, we're only really, white Australia is only, you know, 200 odd years old. But to go to a museum where there's stuff that's, you know, ancient and from Viking era and stuff is pretty profound when you've grown up in a country that's older than old, but, you know, we're not all, well, I'm not Indigenous, so I came here with my parents. So to me, culturally, the perspective I have of culture as a white Australian is not very deep, really. It's, you know, it's rife with a whole heap of concerns. Oh, aren't they beautiful? Isn't that gorgeous? Just going to trim that down just a bit because it's a bit bigger. In fact, I actually think same. I'm going to do the other one. Trim it down just a little bit. It's a bit. Whoops. I like the border, but I don't like too much of it. I think this one's the same. I'm going to trim that down a little bit, and I'll just corner it and distress it. Near impossible to do the ones with the lace. Probably should have done them before. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Yeah, so all the Viking brooches and stuff at the museum was amazing. I love that. Gorgeous. Okay, so day 100, we've got Nymphs and a Mermaid journaling cards. We've got a little gnome glassine bag and another tiny weeny little gnome glassine bag. You can put your name on there. This has nothing to do with anything other than it's nature related, and I think it goes in the set. And we've got 3 little bags with fairies, little child fairies on that are so cute. And that's it for me for today. And that was day 100. And, well, thank you so much for being here on the journey. And, you know, I'll come back with, I'll just do probably more of the same and just not say day whatever. It'll just be, this is what I'm doing today. And what what a journey. How enjoyable has it been? So I'll see you probably tomorrow because I'm in lockdown. What else am I doing? I will, yes, I think I've got a couple of tutorials on my mind to do, and a bit more mixed media, and I'll see you